there is a line of continuity and consistency between what I did before as a regulator and what I'm starting to do now. Both follow a line, which is the line of ethics, integrity, and economic development for the welfare of all the citizens. This is the same line. I would say that working as a regulator and being IESBA chair, I'm facing similar subjects, a similar mission, and the same purpose. And so I feel that this is like continuing my former role as a regulator. At the same time, let me tell you that as a regulator and a supervisor, and having been at the board of many international organizations working on market and financial supervision, I have been made aware, and I've got a particular awareness of the significance of ethics in the financial world, and the importance of ethics. And so being IESBA chair and working and caring about ethics in accountancy and auditing is something that I take very seriously, and I think it's of utmost importance for economic development and ultimately for the welfare and well-being of the citizens. On the last 2 or 3 months, I have been in an immersion period and process for which I'm very grateful. Very grateful to the board members, very grateful to the staff, to the senior staff who have been supporting me so much, and also to Stavros Tomadakis, who was irreplaceable in his role of ensuring a smooth and good transition into my chairmanship. So this period allowed me to touch base with all these people, with the board members, with technical advisors, with the board dynamics, and with the staff, which, as I said, is important to me and is made of important people with whom I'm going to work very closely. And so I'm very grateful to everybody for the strong support they have provided me. Let me tell you that on surprises, I wouldn't say that I had surprises or that I have been surprised by anything that I was not expecting, apart from the level of commitment and the quality of the work and of the people working for IESBA and with IESBA, which impressed me a lot. I was not expecting such a high level of commitment, such a high level of quality all around, at the board level, at the staff level, and at the level of some stakeholders with whom I had also the opportunity to touch base and to meet throughout these 2 months or 3, like the PIOB, the Public Interest Oversight Board, or the National Standard Setters, just to mention a few of them, and the way all these people and entities coming from different origins, having different roles and different objectives, they are all united around the same purpose and the same objectives. That's I'd say that it was a surprise, but it was something that I found well beyond what I was expecting. My central and most important objective will be to continue giving continuity to the high-quality standard-setting activity of IESBA to the public interest, for the public interest. This will be my main goal and priority. But of course, I understand that this will take me to provide strategic direction to the board and to the staff as well. And so I will play mainly a strategic role in this respect. But I'm also aware that I cannot put some organizational and governance issues and concerns at bay. And for 2 reasons. First is because as IESBA chair and a full-time chair, I have to be concerned about the organization because it's what makes the rest work or not. Secondly, because IESBA is in a very particular phase, moment of its life, in a transition period, according to the monitoring group recommendations, where we will all be trying to put in place some adjustments, some governance adjustments and organizational adjustments to make the same strategic objectives more effective and work even better for the public good. So it's about keeping the same strategy, but having some adjusted tools and instruments to make it more feasible and effective. And this is something that I will have to take care of as well as IESBA chair. So I will have to play a dual role, a strategic one, but also a managerial one, so to speak, and I will try to do it to keep the right balance between the two dimensions to get the best results. There are a few new and pressing issues, which will be, I believe, at the top of our concerns and priorities. And at the top of the top, I will put sustainability, of course, which impacts the profession and the activity and the world as a whole enormously. So sustainability and then technology and digitalization, I think, are the most pressing topics, but also everything that COVID-19 crisis did to the world. All the dramatic changes from a financial, economic, social, institutional, political, regulatory point of view. There were so many changes triggered by COVID-19 that this will necessarily impact the accountancy profession and the expectations that the world as a whole has in respect to the accountancy activity. So this is something where we have to put a lot of attention. In parallel, IESBA has to be and has to be always attentive to emerging issues, emerging risks, emerging challenges. And in this respect, I think that we will not, we may not neglect this highly in-depth context where we are now, highly in-depth private entities and also governments and states in a context of low interest rates and with the threat of inflation. This creates a very specific economic and social context with many risks for firms, many risks for families, and many risks in terms of opportunistic behaviors in respect to the fragilities created by this context. And this will, again, reflect on the accountancy profession and activity because it will require from accountants a very particular attention and care about these fragilities and the difficulties and risks that it poses. I think that this was a tough learning experience. The COVID-19 crisis brought us. It had many negative impacts in people, in the organizations, and we are still to see the full impacts of remote work and of all these circumstances in organizations, in productivity, cohesion, etc. But it also brought some progress and some evolution and innovation. If we think about everything that happened in terms of not only health relation research, but also technology, digitalization, etc., which accelerated many years in 1 year. We also had political, organizational, institutional, regulatory innovation coming out from this crisis. If you look, for instance, at the way central banks and the monetary authorities responded to the crisis with very innovative measures, or the way governments and international organizations responded to the crisis with very innovative initiatives to support employment and other social emergencies, it is evident, it is clear that there was innovation triggered by the crisis, and not only at the financial level. How will it impact the standard setting activity, and focusing specifically on IESBA's standard setting activity? What I would say is that the COVID-19 crisis triggered a completely different ethical awareness, and that this will, of course, reflect on the importance, the relevance, and the need of strong and effective ethics standards. I love walking. Walking is almost an obsession, is a need. It's something that I have to do that releases me. I walk on the streets, in the city, on the beach, in the mountains, everywhere. Walking is indeed one of the most, one of my favorites, if not my favorite way of spending time when I'm not working. Being with friends and with the family, it's also, or mainly, a thing that I love doing. It's about people, and I'm a people person. So being with friends, being with the family, it's also something very important in my free time. Swimming, and when possible, but it's not always possible because mainly at the sea. And reading, although I used to be a compulsive reader, but nowadays with so many things, so many documents that I have to read, I'm reading less, but it's also something that I love doing. So walking, being with friends, swimming, and reading. It is not easy to choose one. The 5 principles are all equally important. So integrity, objectivity, professional competence and due care, confidentiality and professional behavior, they are all different dimensions, but complementary dimensions of ethics. So it's difficult to pick up one and say, this is my favorite one. But not being an accountant, and maybe because of that, and also because of my professional past, I would say that from those 5 principles, the ones that tell me the most are integrity and professional behavior.